Alright, today we are going to be making random characters in D&D. Now, making random characters in D&D, you'll be fine in pretty much anything you do. You get some sort of weird combos and such, but to add even more randomness to this, we are going to be doing homebrew races and homebrew subclasses from D&D Beyond. We are living our fate up to the creators of all these wonderful homebrew races and homebrew subclasses. I will expect some not great things, but we're going to do it up. We're going to make the character to whatever the starting level of the subclass is. So if it's a subclass for wizard, we'd be level 2, so on, so on, so on. So let's just hop right into it. So looking at the custom races, as we can see here, there are 307 pages of random races that we can choose from. We did a rating threshold of +1, just so that we only see things that people, at least one person, liked. And before, I was just going to try it anything that was ever created. However, that made 1,865 pages, which are, needless to say, a lot. So we're just going to do this. And we are going to go to the random number generator and throw on 307 to get a random page number. 240. Alright, I will go see what page 240 has for us. Alright, we have made it to page 240. Took me a minute because you can only go 2 pages at a time, but we're here. And now there are 20 of these on one page, so we're going to go back to random.org and generate a random one. Number 5, alright? Alright, we have gotten number 5, which is going to be Inignito's Salamander. Took me a couple tries to figure out his name. Let us see. A very uncommon race. Not specifically from anywhere, particularly in the archipelago, but will most likely be found in the capital. While no native races hate salamanders, their odds disposition is often off-putting to people. Ability scores, your constitution's +2 and your charisma +1. Great. Age, 20, generally living into the middle of his or her century. Cool. Alignment, they're chaotic good. Good-hearted and kind, hate to see other people in pain, have no tolerance for oppression, though they seem a bit strange and weird to outsiders. Size between 3 and 4 feet tall. Small, okay, so on the smaller side. Speed is 25 and a swim speed of 30. Okay, with them being small, makes sense. Amphibious, makes sense. Dark vision, great. Okay. Whew. I read regeneration and I was like, oh no, they're just gonna have healing properties. Okay, not as busted. Cool. You have advantage on a hit dice. That's great. And you can speak common and primordial. Okay, nothing too busted right off the rip. That's great. Fantastic. Now we're gonna see what our Salamander's class is. Alright, for subclasses, there are 269 that at least one person likes. So we're going to hit ye old random number generator. 269, nice. 179. Okay. So I will see you there. Alright, we've made it to 179. Again, 20 on one page. So I had to pull up Google Translate for this guy's name. I already forgot. 20 on the page. So we are going to generate a random number between 1 and 20. 15. Great. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15. Puppeteer Specialist for Artificer. Okay. Alright, Puppeteer. What are they all about? I'm gonna guess puppets. You gain proficiency in wood cutting tools. Great, and one of your choice. Starting at 3rd level, you have certain prepared. Okay. Artifice command charm person. Great. Zone of truth hold person. Cool. Major image fear. Okay. Grand marionette. By 3rd level, you have tinkered into existence a faithful puppet, a grand marionette. It is friendly to you and your companions and obeys your command within reason. See this creature's game statistics in the grand stat block, which uses your PB. Okay. The mending spell is cast on it. It regenerates 2d6 hit points. When it falls in combat, it is destroyed and its core can be reclaimed in order to rebuild the same grand marionette. Okay. Cool. So, puppet. Great. Great. We love... Let's look at the stat block. 16 AC. Okay. Okay. Hit points, 2 plus intelligence, plus 5 times your level in the class. Jesus. Okay. Yeah. So, at level 20, your Grand Marionette would have 106-ish HP. Jesus Christ. Okay, Marionette is fast. Alright, sure. Rend. 1d8 plus proficiency bonus and force damage. Alright, not incredible. If it knows a spell and you do not use your action to cast a spell at 1st level, the Marionette may cast the spell as an action instead of attacking. How does it know spells? Oh, at level... Okay. Alright, so at level 5, it's able to cast spells. Wait, is all this just... Did they just copy... Yeah, okay, they just copied everything down again. Okay. Wow. Alright, that's insane. Let's build this puppy up. Alright, so we are going to be making Sally the Salamander. The Salamander Puppeteer Specialist of Artificer. Now, salamanders apparently are chaotic good, kind-hearted, and hate to see others in pain. So I imagine Sally works with kids and is this very nice teacher, loving puppets, sort of. Imagine a D&D version of Sesame Street. I imagine Sally would run something similar to this. So, first off, and most important thing, is we've got to select Artificer. We are also using Roll20, by the way, for anyone who is looking for a good online Dungeons & Dragons program. I love Roll20 for pretty much everything. So, to just keep going with the randomness, we got to roll for the stats. So we're going to do 46, keep 3, which is keep the highest 3. So it'll drop the lowest. All right, 11. 11, great. Let's put 11. Let's just put numbers in for now. And we will... fix them later into where we want. Now, we want charisma to be pretty high if they are... I got another 16. I'm rolling crazy today. So we're going to want her to be very charismatic, very caring. So I guess charisma is going to be one of our best things. 10, great. We also we want intelligence because we are creating those puppets. Creating puppets takes a lot of intelligence, and things of that nature. Another 14. Wow, I rolled incredible. No bad stats. I'm sure that will be the case for every character I create. Alright, so I would like Charisma to be our highest. So let's swap that out. And then Intelligence we want to be high. So let's swap that out. Dex. And this was our 10. Alright. So Charisma, Dexterity, Wisdom. Got to be very wise. So I think 14 makes sense. Where would we like this 14 to go? I think we should put it into Constitution. Sure, we'll leave it where it's at. I think that's probably a pretty good idea. Now, it's not having Artificers, which is weird, but that's okay. I rolled a 10 and a 12 on Wisdom. Great. And our modifiers are +2 to Charisma. Great. We're going to have even more busted characters. And Charisma +1, which is great. Make Charisma... I just put 1. +1, of course. So, let us do our speed of 25. We are a small boy. All right. And then... Amphibious, Dark Vision, Regeneration, Languages. All right, and we'll put all that in. All right, I'm going to go put all these in, and I'll be right back. All right, and we are back. So, we have finished up Sally, the Salamancer Puppeteer. Supposed to be level 3? My bad. So, we added all the stuff from both classes. Languages. For skills, I chose Insight, Perception, Persuasion, and Sleight of Hand. Sleight of Hand because obviously you need to trick people. Do a little sleight of hand so that people don't know you're puppeting the puppeteer, at least the kids, obviously. Persuasion to help, teach and be, just good with people, not deceptive, just, very kind-hearted. Perception, keep a watch out, figure out what's going on. If something's going wrong, kind of check that out. And insight, obviously, to know who's struggling, who's not, really focus on who Sally would like to help. And obviously spells are a big thing for Artificer. I think Guidance and Mage Hand are what I chose. Now, a case can be made for Mending, which as the Artificer or as the Puppeteer subclass said, if you use Mending on your puppet, it would heal it. But I think Sally is much more focused on helping out people. Providing them guidance, Mage Hand to puppet another puppeteer, or puppet another puppeteer, puppet another puppet, to create scenes, make it more interactive for the kids. And I kind of went along the same lines for the first level spells of, helping people out and, putting on a show. Very much this sort of actor feats. And dagger and light crossbow are obviously what Artificers come with. And personality traits, ideals, bonds, flaws. I kind of already explained all that. I didn't want to really write it down to constrain. But now we're going to go into the ratings, which is strength and flavor. Strength being how strong I think the character is, and flavor being how, obviously, much flavor is put into this, right? How well does this combination work together? Can you make a coherent story, which is half of Dungeons and Dragons? So strength, I would probably rate this probably near the lower side. I'd probably say like a 4, right? To make it better, I would probably say trade out Constitution for Dexterity. Dagger and light crossbows both run off Dexterity, so I think it'd become much better if it was based on Dexterity. But I feel that Sally would be more Constitution based, being a salamander and being a street performer. Secondly, in flavor, I would rate this pretty high. I really like the flavor of this character. I think Sally is instantly recognizable, and I think Puppeteer in specific is a great subclass that, while maybe the balance isn't perfect, it certainly brings a lot of flavor and identity to a character, allowing you to do a lot of different things that base game doesn't feel correct, or doesn't feel like is there already. The only downside I would say to this character is that Salamander and this sort of street performing character that I've made could potentially be a bit iffy, as they seem strange and weird, which makes sense for street performers. They're not the most normal people. But I wouldn't necessarily say it 100% fits. So I would probably say about a 9 on the flavor scale because of that little mismatched. But I think it could still very much work. But yeah, thank you guys all for coming today. And this is Sally the Puppeteer. Have a good one, guys.